Hi everyone, welcome. FPL Matt Day here. I'm live for the FPL Game Week 3 deadline stream. Apologies if the connection is a bit patchy tonight. I'm in Menorca in Spain, so I'm just using the Wi-Fi in the hotel. But if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and be sure to get your comments in and any questions for this deadline. So get them all in the comments ready for the deadline, which is in an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 24 minutes. So make sure you've got your team all ready for the deadline, your transfers and your captains. In tonight's stream, I'm just going to go through the fixtures, players that I like from each fixture, as well as some of my favorite captains and differentials. And I'll also be going through any questions or comments that come in. PSB, welcome to the stream, mate. I hope you're good. I'm going to bring your comment up. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments as well, mate, because I am on a hotel connection, so it's not the best. So, yeah, I hope everyone can still hear me. So if you can, just let me know in the comments. And even if it's a little bit slow, I do apologize. But get your questions in ready for the game week, and I will try and answer them as best as I can. But let's start off with the usual share screen. We'll go through my team to begin with. My team is actually already on screen, ready to go. Actually, I might need to do a refresh of this team. I'll stop sharing. I'll do a refresh of my team because I have actually changed this team since I actually was on that tab. So let's do a refresh, and then I'll share the screen again. And in the meantime, I'll bring up the comments that come in. So Clark Kent is in the comments. You can hear, and PSB has also said video is lagging a bit. So yeah, I do apologize. We do have a bit of a lag. It's not the best connection in this hotel. So if it does cut out at any moment, I do apologize. But I'll keep going through and helping with any questions that come in. So let's share the screen now. I'm going to share it, and we can go through my team selection for the week. Yeah, got another comment that's come in just saying it is lagging, which is, yeah, apologies, which is quite unfortunate. I do have a bit of an unstable connection. Let me present, and so we'll go through any questions that come in, as opposed to I'll share my team in a second, and we'll try and go through questions because I do have a laggy connection, so it's probably best to answer questions. But yes, there has been an update on Maddison. Postecoglou said he has trained, which is great news. He's been given the all clear. I think it will really just come down to the player now to see how he's feeling and see if he wants to play. And then he'll likely then play. So I think if you've got Maddison, I think you've got to start him now. Because even if for whatever reason he's benched tomorrow, he will definitely play next week because it sounds like he is fit to go. Questions come in here, which I'll bring up now. Colwill for Saliba. I probably would keep Colwill for this game week if that's who you have, because they do play the Luton home game. I think a lot of people are expecting Chelsea to do something in this game. So I'd probably say give Colwill this game week. And if he doesn't get the clean sheet this time, then definitely look at moving him on and bringing in Saliba from there. But I think you can give Colwill one more week. Because coming in, I'm going to quickly present the screen and show my team on screen. So let's show my team. So here it is. Overall rank 277.8 at the moment, 140 points, which is a pretty good start last week, which was unfortunate. Not having Mbeumo last week was a real nightmare. But this week I've brought him in, as you can see here, for Salah. So he's come in. He's now 6.67 million. I brought him in at 6.6 million at the beginning of the week. And then I had two transfers. So I've brought Wisser in for João Pedro. And I've done it because Brentford have the form. So Brentford currently have the form. as well as the fixtures. They've got 2 really good back-to-back home games. I just preferred him over Jackson. You've got to pick the on-form players, similar to when Bamford and Dominic Calvert-Lewin did really well in FPL at the start of the season a few years ago. And Brentford, in-form team, looking good and very strong under their current setup. Let's bring in the questions. I don't think I'm going to do my full fixture review this week because we just don't have a good connection, unfortunately. And it is quite unstable. So I'm just going to go through questions in this stream. And what I'll do is I'm going to try and do a TikTok live 15 minutes before deadline. So if you do come onto my TikTok, come in there and I will answer some questions in there before deadline as well. Let's bring up the next few comments. Bulldog to Gusto. Yes, I would do that. Gusto's 4 million. Easy sideways move. He looks like he's going to start ahead of Reece James, who's obviously injured. So I think that's an absolute no-brainer. So definitely make that move. Another one's coming in here. Rashford or Foden. I would play Rashford this week. I wouldn't bring Foden in for Rashford. I'll give Rashford 1 more week. So definitely do that. And then maybe look at Foden next week if Rashford doesn't do anything. We'll bring it up here. Welcome to the stream, mate. I hope you've been well. Rivals, but Arsenal have won 2 out, and they've got Fulham at home this weekend. Plenty of FPL players to pick. Saliba is in my lineup, as you can see there on the screen. I've also got Saka, who I'm going to keep by considering at some point Odegaard, who is on penalties at Arsenal. So with Odegaard and penalties at Arsenal, it does make it quite interesting. Welcome to the stream, Jared. Hope you are good, mate. We'll bring up your comment now. And we're starting to get a few more people in the stream, which is great. So apologies, there is a lag as I'm on holiday and the hotel Wi-Fi isn't very good. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and also get your questions in as well. Would I start Maddison over Diaz? That's really tough. I'd pick him purely because I'm a Spurs fan. I'd say Maddison has the better fixture. So I'd probably say yes, but Diaz has obviously scored in his last 2 games. I'd say go with who do you trust more, Maddison or Diaz? You'd probably slightly edge to Diaz in the fact that Maddison's had some injury problems this week, but I'd probably pick Maddison for the fixture. Will, welcome to the stream. Salah and Pedro to Mbeumo, Foden, and Jackson Alvarez for a -4. I'm preferring Salah to Mbeumo and playing Pedro this week, not taking the hit. Look, if you had 2 transfers, I would say use the 2 transfers, but I wouldn't use a hit on Pedro this week because I think he gets a start. I'd just do that and I'd bring in Mbeumo this week. I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to take the hit. We'll quickly bring up this comment before I bring up Clark's, and this is Wrestling Films. Welcome to the stream, Tottenham fan page. Yeah, I've seen Maddison's fit tomorrow, which is great. So I'd probably this why I'd probably edge towards Maddison over Luis Diaz. I guess it's just whether or not we'll make the precaution of putting him on the bench. But yeah, surely we've given the start if he's saying he's okay. And he's got the better fixture. Like Bournemouth away is a better fixture than Newcastle away. So yeah, I'd edge towards Maddison. I've also got Maddison on the back of the shirt, so definitely play Maddison. I think it's a good sign. Clark Kent thinks Odegaard penalty was a one-off, so he thinks Saka will take the next one. So that is very interesting intel there. Welcome to the stream. This is Wrestling Film. Bring your comment up now. There we go. It should come up. Yeah, bit of a dodgy connection, mate. I'm assuming you've just tuned in. To have you in and let me know what you're thinking with your team this week. And we're getting some new watches in. Please hit that subscribe button. I'll bring up comments I'll tell you what, I'll just go through comments and questions. I know I normally do the fixture review, but we're getting some good questions in. So let's just do the Q&A as they come in, especially with this dodgy stream. I'm just going to zoom into my team more as well so people can see my side. So that's my lineup this week for those that missed it before. 2 transfers made. We'll bring up Jared's comment now. He's going to go Matters. If Diaz does well, it's fine. As he's a Sunderland fan. So, yeah, I love that. Love that. That's brilliant. Yeah, go James Maddison. So this is Wrestling Film. It's about to blow 4 points to take out Shaw and Wolves, Kalajic for Saliba and Action Jackson. Mate, you've got to get rid of Shaw now. Very unlucky for him to get injured for Forest. I think obviously I was at the Spurs Man United game last week, so yeah, I was buzzing to be there. Luke Shaw, he did look good on that left side on the ball, and I was looking at him thinking, if you were able to keep that clean sheet, he probably would have been quite high on the bonus and the game for him. So you're really unlucky. Definitely bring Saliba in for him. And look, that Wolves player just seems a bit of a dead player. So yeah, definitely take the hit, mate, I think. Tottenham fan page, Udogie or Porro. I'd probably say Udogie because I feel Porro's obviously didn't play the first game. The second game was brilliant against United last week, and he hit the bar as well. But there's that rotation with Emerson a bit more. Udogie, I think he's going to have more starts. He might get the early sub as well for Perisic in sort of the last 20, 30 minutes, and you probably bank that clean sheet points in there as well. So I'd probably say Udogie edges it for me, and he's a bit cheaper. And he went on that really good run last week against United as well. So I reckon there's some goals or assists coming soon as well. Plenty of comments coming in. So keep them coming in. I am going through each comment. Like I mentioned, it's a slight lag from my terrible connection. So yeah, apologies. Hello, Lexich. I hope you're well, mate. Question that's come in. Should I bench Shaw and play Luis Diaz? Or transfer out Shaw to another defender for free? And if yes, we can. I think it's time to get rid of Shaw, mate, because he will probably go down in price in the next week, or even tonight potentially, or over the next few days. So I would get rid of Shaw now, and I'd probably say Gusto if you don't have him, or Chilwell if you don't have him. Maybe someone like a Gusto is good for 4 million. And then you could play Luis Diaz and bench Gusto anyway, because he's a 4 million defender. But that's what I do, mate. I'd probably just downgrade Shaw to someone cheaper, or bench Chilwell if you don't have him. Next comment from Clark Kent. Pedro may not start because Ferguson is starting. So that's some very good intel as well. And that's another reason I've got rid of Pedro. Like you can see in my team here. I'll zoom into him. But you can see in my team there, I've gone with Wissa. I took João Pedro out because I just didn't want... Thing is, if Pedro does start, and I know he's on pens, he might get 60, 70 minutes. And I just looked at it and thought, look, if he scores, he scores. But he's a transfer out of my team waiting to happen. It's not a bad idea. Like, if you've got Chilwell and Gusto, it's not the worst idea, especially if you don't have any options. But if you're playing Gusto at the expense of Estupiñán or Saliba, then I wouldn't. I'd just go Chilwell, Saliba, and Estupiñán, similar to the defense that I've got on screen. Welcome to the stream, Syed. And everyone that's new in the stream, please hit that subscribe button. Should I swap either Cash or Colwill for Estupiñán? No, I'd keep Estupiñán, mate. He's just doing too well at the moment. So, yeah, definitely don't sell Estupiñán right now. Give him at least his game week and then go from there. Plus, he's just too highly owned right now. Welcome to the stream, mate. I hope you're good. I've been watching you on quite a few of Football Ferrari streams. So loving all of your work, mate. So Lexic has already got Estupiñán, Saliba, and Chilwell. So let's go back to his previous question. I'd probably just say Gusto then, mate, and you can bench Gusto and play Chilwell, Estupinan, and Saliba this week. And if Gusto gets points, well, it means Chilwell's probably got points anyway. No, not this week, mate. Martinelli. One, he's obviously, I know it's Man City and it's Foden, but Martinelli is at home to Fulham. He looked good the other night against Palace. I thought he was unlucky not to get a return. And he did really well in this fixture. It was the away fixture last year. He did really, really well. So I'd give Martinelli at least one more week before moving him on. I think he's still got something in him for this game week. More questions are coming in. We've got Bird on a banjo, Ahmed as well. So I'll get to your questions. Plenty more viewers have come in the stream. So please get your questions in. We're just doing a live Q&A now. We're not going to go through too much else. Welcome to the stream, mate. Come on, you Spurs. You've not forgot the deadline just yet, mate. You've still got an hour and 8 minutes to deadline. So make your transfer and we'll see you soon back in the stream. Best 4.5 million keeper to replace Pickford. This is an interesting question. I don't mind Sanchez at Brighton for 4.5 million. I think he's good. They've got good fixtures coming up. I'm not as keen on the Brentford keeper right now. They're not keeping the clean sheets, but they do have good fixtures. I'll have a quick look through the list. Let's go back onto this. Let me have a look, and I'll have a think from the top of my head. Like I'm not minding Sanchez. Pickford's not doing it for me right now. I thought he was going to be better than he was, so definitely not Pickford. I'm not liking Leno's next couple of fixtures. I'd probably give Pickford one more game week. He's got Wolves this week, and Wolves were shocking last week. I know Everton are terrible, but give Pickford another week or so. And then next week you can maybe get Areola in for the Luton game. Or you could give Pickford 2 more game weeks and you could bring Leno in from game week 5 because Leno's got good fixtures from game week 5. Or if you can spend 0.5, go for Onana, Vicario, who did well last week. But yeah, I'd say right now, give him one more game week and then look at maybe Leno. More questions are coming in, which is great. So I am going to answer all questions. So keep them coming in. Give this video a like as well. It just takes a couple of seconds to like the video. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and obviously to help the channel grow as well. Yeah, Mbeumo is a great transfer. Mbeumo is a great transfer at the expense of Diaby. It's tough because, but I'd say yes, Mbeumo's too good right now. You've got to find a way to get Mbeumo in your team, and if Diaby is the only option, then do it. But if you've got Salah, then you've got to do it for Salah. I'm going to stop sharing screen as well because I think that's probably not helping this dodgy connection either. All right, question that's coming here, which I'm trying to bring up, but I'm getting some bad luck trying to bring up the comments. Okay, I'm going to try All right, everyone, I'm back. Let me know if you can hear me. I've logged in from my phone because the hotel Wi-Fi was no good. So hopefully this is a lot better. So let me know if you can hear me. Okay. All right, I'm going to bring up the last few comments that I missed. So I think I said with this one, definitely make the transfer. But if you had someone else to bring out that wasn't Diaby, like maybe Salah, then do that. Christian, welcome to the stream, mate. Great to have you in. I've got the Spurs shirt on for you. Yes, sorry. For Italian, I don't. But it looks like he's got the number 1 spot. Thanks, mate. Syed. Let's bring your comment back up. Yeah, thanks for the support and everyone who's new here. And please hit the subscribe, hit the like button. It's great to have new subscribers and followers come into the comments, just like Syed. So really appreciate that. And to everyone that's new here and subscribed in the last week or so, as we've hit 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, really happy about that. Sean, welcome to the stream, mate. I'd probably hold off on triple captain. Like, I like to wait until double game weeks. So I wouldn't triple captain him this week, unless you're getting this feeling where you think he might get 4 or 5 goals, which has happened before in the past in the Premier League. City defence looks strong, but so does Saliba and so do Arsenal. So I'd keep Saliba right now. In his 2 games, the first game he got the assist, even though Arsenal obviously conceded. And then in the last game he got bonus. Saliba, when Arsenal keep clean sheets, is a bonus point magnet, and he's a goal threat. And I'm a Spurs fan saying this, so I'd keep Saliba. If I were to pick a Man City defender, who would I go with? I like Akanji at the moment. There's just something about him. He seems to get a lot of bonus points. I think they're going to play him, Diaz and Garvidal all the way until they get to the Champions League group stages. Then it could change. And I don't think anyone will be nailed after that. So for now, someone like Akanji. But as soon as they get into the Champions League group stages, their whole team, their defence, there'll be rotation. So for now, I'll actually like Akanji. Christian says he's set on Shaw, Rashford, Scarlett out for Garvidal, Foden and Vissa -4, play 3-4-3 with Eze first sub. I like that, mate. I don't mind playing Eze this week though. I'm playing him in my own team. I think he's a good option this week, Eze, with that Brentford game. I'm hoping for like a 2-2 draw, but at the same time, Foden and Vissa, Garvidal, they're all really good options as well. Back now. Here's the comment from Dan here from Twitch. Evening all. Come on, you Spurs. Oliver, welcome to the stream, mate. So let's read out his team. So he's got Chilwell, Colwill, Diaz, Estupiñán, Saka, Odegaard, Rashford, Bruno, Matoma, Haaland, Jackson. That's a strong team. That's very strong. Which one should be benched? That is tough. Let's have a look. Well, that's the starting 11, isn't it, there? So you've got 3, 4... Oh, yeah, 4 at the back. 5 midfielders. Yes, that's a 4-5-2. You need to bench someone. That is tough. I'd say Colwill, mate. Play Chilwell, Diaz, Estupiñán. If Chelsea keep a clean sheet, you've got Chilwell anyway, and he's a bigger attacking threat. And just accept that Colwill's going to be on your bench with maybe a return. Estupiñán, you've got to play. He's been on too good form. He's too highly owned. He's getting attacking returns. And then the rest speaks for itself. Yeah, go for it, mate. You can even just put it in these comments, because I'm probably going to be on this stream a bit longer, unless you send it to me on my Instagram, FPL Matt Day, or Twitter, FPL Matt Day. As a stream, it might go for another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as opposed to all the way till deadline. So if you send it on one of them, I'll have a look.
So yeah, I went to watch Spurs versus United the other week, which was brilliant. Obviously 2-0 win, played really well. Although United did have chances in that first half. And then I'm going to watch Fulham versus Spurs in the Cup next week, which will be good. And then I fly back out. Obviously, I don't live in England anymore. I live in Australia, so I'll be flying back out there towards the end of next week. And I'm currently in Menorca in Spain. Is Walker nailed? I'd say so, mate. I think that City team is pretty much going to be as it is all the way until the Champions League. And always start Eze, mate, in my opinion. I think go for Eze because he's an attacking threat. And Palace are due a goal. Like, they should have scored against Arsenal. Like, they weren't quite lucky not to maybe get a pen. They had chances. And against Sheffield United. So I'd probably say back Eze or Palace to score as opposed to Brentford to keep a clean sheet. Because these are the games Palace have got to look for goals. Do you reckon Romero will have a cracker of a game against Bournemouth, especially under Ange's attack and play? Yeah, I think he will. He's been brilliant. Like the first game, so he only played 15 minutes or something, and he scored. But he was unbelievable against Man United. He marked like Rashford completely out of that game, other than the one header Rashford missed. I think I would probably say Romero will have a great. I think he'll have a good game as long as he stays fit. He's actually a really, really good player. But like Dan's just mentioned here, he does get red cards and yellow cards. So for FPL, he is a risk. But in terms of him playing well, he's a top defender when he's fit. Yeah, it's been good, mate. It was great to get to a couple of matches. And it's the biggest thing about living on the other side of the world is you don't get to go to games frequently. But yeah, they're not cheap these days. And it's great, mate. So I've lived in Perth, which I loved, and now I'm living in Melbourne, which I really like as well. The Maddison news has made me think he needs to start FPL-wise, hence sinking Eze on the bench. If it was between Eze and Maddison in my team, I'd play Maddison. But I don't have Maddison. I've got Eze. But if I had both and that was the decision, then I would play Maddison. Should I sell Shaw for a Man City defender now or wait until the next game week? If you've got no other players to start other than Shaw or the Man City defender, then you've got to make the transfer now, mate. If you've got another option, then play them. But otherwise, do it now. You could always do Gusto as well at 4 million or Chilwell. Like if you've got the money to get Chilwell in and you don't have him, I think you might mention that you did earlier on. Yeah, I think a lot of our defenders will be quite good for FPL, especially Porro when he does play, and Udogie on the other side. So Maddison had a strain in his MCL, and he had a boot on last week because he had some bruising on his ankle. But Ange Postecoglou said that he's trained today, so he should be good to go. I'll bring up the other two comments, but Maddison injury prone. I don't think he'll play. Yeah, he's had a few injuries, but I still think he'll hit about 30 games this season, and he'll get at least 70 minutes tomorrow. He's just on fire. He's due his first Spurs goal. Thanks, mate. Hope you're good. Thanks for coming in the stream, and good luck for Game Week 3. You've got to make that transfer, mate. Then you have to, because Gabriel Arteta said some pretty unfavourable comments about him. I don't think Gabriel's going to start, mate. So you've got to get rid of Shaw, bench Gabriel, and bring someone in. Tottenham fan page. He's got the following team: Vicario, who had a really good score last week against Man United, and his next 3: Bournemouth away, Burnley away, Sheffield United home, Burnley away. I can't remember the order of the games, but good fixtures. He's getting a lot of saves as well. That's a good pick. Saliba, a good pick. Estupiñán, Udogie, Mbeumo, Bruno, Matoma, Saka, Maddison, Isaac, and Haaland. It's a good team. There's not much. it's hard. There's not much you'd change. Probably the other decisions this week are you could maybe go Digne for Udogie, knowing that you've already got a Spurs goalkeeper. Because Digne did get a couple of assists in the Europa Conference. That's if he starts in the league, though. I actually think Brentford will concede, so I don't mind Henry on the bench. And then Pedro, Isaac. I'd probably still back Isaac at home for Newcastle. Scored a couple of goals in his last home game. And I'd back him over Pedro. So, yeah, good team that doesn't need much change. You've got a good midfield. Give Bruno at least one more week, Bruno Fernandes. See how he does. And then if he doesn't do anything this week or he doesn't hit the back of the net, I'd get rid. Yeah, this is a really nice Spurs shirt, this one. Yeah, Maddison on the back. Yeah, really good football last week against United, especially in the second half. United did still have opportunities, but I think Spurs will be a much better watch this season, and they're going to have plenty of FPL players to pick from. Cheap players as well. Yeah, thanks for subbing, mate. Great to see you in the comments, and it's good. I've seen you'd come in from Twitch as well, mate. So if you if you can sub on YouTube, that'd be really appreciated, because I stream this to Twitch, but I don't really I don't really sort of have the following on there as much. It's YouTube, and also Instagram. So if anyone on here has got Instagram, you can add me, FPL Matt Day, and also on TikTok and Twitter. Yeah, I know, especially after last season. Look, Lloris, even though we conceded a lot of goals, he did have his moments with save points. The season before last, he did really well in FPL. He was up there. But yeah, after last season, I didn't think I'd even consider any of our defenders. So if anyone has Ben Mee, he's out this weekend, but expected back mid-week onwards. So some good information there from Christian. Ben Mee, very good pick last season for FPL, but still remains injured for Brentford, which is a shame because they've got so many good fixtures. So the team of Anana, Estupinan, Saliba, Romero, Chilwell, Strong, Mitoma, Saka, Mbeumo, Rashford, Haaland, Jackson. Bench of Eze, Cash, Isaac. Although I'm a Spurs fan, I'd probably play Eze over Romero. As Dan mentioned earlier, Romero gets a lot of cards. And he said here, it's still early days, so the form for Spurs will be patchy. We conceded 2 in our last away game as well. So I'd probably play Eze and attack the game. And you might just have to accept you're going to leave some points on the bench because that's a strong bench. Cash and Isaac is strong. Really good squad. You must have started quite well this season, especially with Saliba, Estupinan, Mbeumo. Yeah, and you've got to play Rashford at home to Forest. So, you're just going to have to hope that whoever you bench doesn't get too many big points, but you've also got to expect that you might leave points on the bench. If any more questions can come in, then get them in the next few minutes. I'll stay on. We've got quite a few watches in, so get any last minute or late questions in. We're about 45 minutes till deadline, so I'll look to try and stay on a little bit longer. Hit that like button as well. Subscribe if you're new. Keep getting your questions in for the game week. Let me know what transfers you've made or what transfers you're looking to make. Obviously I'd normally do the fixture review on this podcast, but for those that have been in since the start, realised I didn't have a great connection. So now I'm on my phone, and I'm probably not going to share the screen as well on here with the fixtures. So we'll just continue with the Q&A. So if anyone's got Ream, Bassi is expected to start while he's suspended. Good aerial threat if Fulham get down Arsenal's end. Yeah, Ream was a reasonable option last season as well in FPL. Now he's got the ban this season. But yeah, I think Leno for me is probably the best defensive pick as the goalkeeper for Fulham to have this season. Also, if you haven't joined, I've got a mini league. So if you go into the link tree in my comments, there is a mini league. There is a lot of people in there, though. I think we're getting towards 800 or 900 people in there. So yeah, come and join. See where you end up finishing. Yeah, there's a lot of people in there. So come and give it a go. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I was a little bit worried with Eze. But he tends to have these bursts where when he does score, he normally scores quite big, 1 or 2 goals. But he is quite patchy. I can see a lot of people selling him this week or even next week, and then regretting it because he's got Wolves next game week, which could be a good fixture for him because Wolves, yeah, they've looked pretty. They looked awful against Brighton, although Brighton were good, but it was at home for Wolves. Headache of the week for Martin. This is wrestling film. Start Luis Diaz or bench for Brighton's Ferguson or a 4th defender, Kashil Tarkowski. And cheers again for your streaming device. Always the best way to count down. Always great to have you in here, mate. Hope you're feeling better as well. So start Luis Diaz or bench for Brighton's Ferguson. If it's between Ferguson or Luis Diaz, definitely Diaz, mate, because I think he starts, and we're not even sure if Ferguson's going to start. So then I wouldn't bother with a 4th defender, mate. Definitely play that midfield option. I think 3 at the back's working quite nicely this season. Yeah, mate, I agree. Roku, welcome to the stream, mate. Bench 1, Pedro, Henry, Maddison, or Salah. That's a tough one, but Henry. I'd go with all the attacking options: Pedro, Maddison, Salah, and hopefully Crystal Palace score, and it's Eze that scores. That would be really nice. Yeah, and Deserby did say Ferguson. So he said Ferguson might start. Okay. Well, if that's the case, and he's not going to start him with Pedro, then he might play Pedro in a 10. That's the other thing. But look, we'll look to leave it there. We've been on for about 40 minutes. Thanks for subscribing, mate. Really appreciate having the new subs. Yeah, looking forward to having you in more streams as well. Go and check me out on Instagram, FPL Matt Day, FPL Matt Day on Twitter, FPL Matt Day on TikTok. And go and check out a bunch of the shorts as well. I've uploaded quite a few now, so you can go and check them if you want any more last-minute advice outside of this stream. My team selection is also on there, and my transfers. So go and check all of that out. I look to leave the stream there as we are getting close to the deadline, and I want everyone to be able to make their transfers and their captain picks. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for everyone for joining. I'm FPL Matt Day. Good luck for game week 3. I'll be back with another deadline stream next week and plenty of other shorts in the meantime. I'll see you all then. I won't do the outro. Actually, I will do the outro this week because I can still do it from my phone. So I'm about to put the outro on. So we'll put that on now. And I'll see you all in the next one. Good luck for game week 3.